I'm delighted to welcome our new chair, the Republic of Azerbaijan, and Tanzania pledges to full support. Chair, the current world political, social, and economic challenges call for the collective and urgent responses by the international community in its entirety. This is especially necessary for the non-alignment movement, whose members nearly make up 55% of world population, commonly facing similar challenges in all arenas. It is, however, essential that the collective solution chosen to address these shared challenges are in conformity with the principles of justice and international law. These principles are crucial guides towards building sustainable, secure, fair, and prosperity societies, and for creating an enabling environment for upholding the United Nations Charter. It is this regard that my delegation welcomes the theme for this summit, upholding the abundant principle to ensure concerted and adequate response to the challenges of contemporary world. Chair, Tanzania continues to espouse respect for international law, fundamental human rights, peaceful coexistence, and non-interference in the affairs of other nations in its constitution. Founders of the movement were bounded not only to achieve peace, assurance of their human rights and development, but also to integrate the global economy for the benefit of all countries. And indeed, the progress and prosperity we have seen over the course of this movement existence are a direct expression of these efforts by our predecessors. Today, we are deeply concerned to see the resurgence of isolationism and extreme nationalism that have only so far served to curb the efficiency and even the very existence of a rule-based international order, cooperation, and dialogue. With the existing global challenges, the international community should be united, not fragmented, and should be willing to take collective global approach to global issues for the betterment of humanity. Chair, climate change is one of the greatest challenges facing humanity today. We therefore argue the international community to adopt appropriate measures to address the threat that we are constantly facing. We also call upon developed countries to fulfill their financial obligations, build capacity, and enhance technological support to developing countries. Chair, let me talk about the reforms of the Security Council. Tanzania commenced the work of the intergovernmental negotiations on the Security Council reforms. However, we still feel concerned that recent consultation within the 73rd session have shown divergent views and interests that are falling short of Africa's expectations of the legitimate claim at least 2 seats in the permanent category of membership in the Security Council. We ought to remind ourselves that credibility of United Nations rests on a well-represented and responsive Security Council. In this respect, we wish to reiterate the Common Africa position as elaborated in the Nzwili Consensus and the cited declaration. Chair, about U.S. and embargo and on Cuba and sanctions on Zimbabwe. The economic embargo and sanction imposed on Cuba and Zimbabwe cripples the determinations towards economic development, access to trade, investment, and the well-being of their people. Tanzania encourages the international community in constructive dialogue towards total removal of Cuban embargo and sanction in Zimbabwe for economic transformation and benefit of their people. Chair, lastly, in accordance with Article 73 of the Charter of the United Nations, declaration of granting of independence to colonial countries and peoples, and other relevant solution of the General Assembly, I hereby call upon the administering powers to take necessary means to promptly decolonize terrorists that remain under their control. I therefore take this opportunity to remind you, dear colleagues, to remain vigilant and demonstrate constantly commitment and action to see to the end existence of any form of colonialism, hindrance they enjoy sovereignty and ensure the right for self-determination to all. The issue of self-determination for Western Sahara has entered a new direction, with Morocco rejoining the African Union, and it is currently a member of the Peace and Security Council. There is a renewed opportunity for the United Nations and the Special Convoy of the United Nations Secretary General to work with the newly established African Union Troika Commission mechanism to address the issues of West Sahara. The United Republic of Tanzania supported that initiatives. On the same note, we support that Palestine has the right to enjoy its independence and peace, as does Israel, in accordance to the National United Nations Charter. It is our hope that, with the continued international commitment, the conflict will in time be resolved, and these two states will coexist peacefully and harmoniously. Chair, as I conclude my remark, let me reaffirm Tanzania's faith in the non-alignment movement, a true embodiment of humanity. Tanzania dedicates itself to continue respecting the value and the principle of now, as well as constructively engaging in the work of our movement, as we have always done in the past 58 years. We call for deeper South-South cooperation and strengthening North-South relation. Having said so, we commend the relationship between NAM and the G77 and China. We argue for its consideration in defending the interest of the movement, whose majority are developing countries. Chair, about U.S. embargo and on Cuba and sanctions on Zimbabwe. The economic embargo and sanction imposed on Cuba and Zimbabwe cripples their determinations towards economic development, access to trade, investment, and the well-being of their people. Tanzania encourages the international community in constructive dialogue towards total removal of Cuban embargo and sanction in Zimbabwe for economic transformation and benefit of their people.